Hi everyone, this is Ashwani here from Aura Smart. So yeah, we were just having a lovely discussion at the backstage here. I think we'll carry forward that discussion with the panelists. So I think we had a brief discussion at the backstage of about how disconnected the the consumers, the interior designers, the catalyzer of the industry and the manufacturers are in terms of, letting the customers know what is right for them and what would be the, the thing that they should go for. And the answer exactly came is that, like, for different requirements, there are different products available. There's no single brand that you can go to. And that was the discussion. And I think we would like to continue with a discussion along that line. So, yeah. So, and including that, I would include few, I think, the questions that we have here, and I think we'll have an open discussion here. Okay. And then in the last 5 minutes, I think, or 3 minutes, we'll have questions from the audience as well here. Okay. So yeah, I think the first question is, what would be the new features or capabilities do you think that the smart home hubs, let's say, instead of hubs, let's say smart home will offer in next 5-10 years? So I think we can express our views here. What you think, or what you think it should be, rather, we should say, in next 5 to 10 years, based on the consumer, based on the things, the problems that we would like to solve, what would they be? So yeah.
If you look at features, I think we have quite a lot of them already. So feature-wise, there's not much happening. The AI is going to be a big game changer. So as AI gets incorporated into home automation, we are going to find that, first of all, AI, if you understand, in automation, it is trying to replicate human behavior. It anticipates human needs, and therefore the home automation of the future will adapt itself. So, for example, if you are coming home in the evening every day at between 7 and 8, and then you switch on your geyser, and then you make a cup of coffee for yourself to relax, AI will learn this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when you come home, between that time, it will switch on your geyser for you. Or if you've done geofencing, and if you are 1 kilometer away from your home, it will switch on your geyser for you, or your AC for you, or both for that matter. Once you come out, maybe your Alexa will say, would you like some coffee? And it will give a command to the coffee machine to make your coffee for you. So this is what I see is going to happen in the future. Also, I see a lot of interoperability with the advent of Matter, which is there. Matter is a new standard which has come into force. Matter is nothing but it's on the IPv6 platform. It's been upgraded from Zigbee. The Connectivity Standards Alliance has been working on this tirelessly. There are about all the big four, Amazon, Google, Alexa, Samsung, they're all part of it. Plus you have 100+ other companies who are on that. So what I see is in the next 2 years, more and more companies will be coming on to the Matter platform. They will be upgrading from Zigbee or Thread technologies, what they are currently using. They'll be moving on to Matter, and there will be a lot of interoperability, and people will be able to go to a superstore like Reliance or Chroma, just buy their product, and there it is. Bingo, it will start working together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also, yeah, looking at the AI, so yeah, there is some interesting piece that we are working on currently. I'll just, so yeah, that AI piece came
We'll
in.
love to hear that.
Yeah, so we are working on two things right now. We did two things. So let's say a user is using, let's say, a geyser, as you're saying, at morning for let's say whatever time, X time. If that user does it for 6 times in a week, or let's say 10 times in a month, we can send them a notification saying that, do you want to schedule that? We can do more. basically something like, now there are emotional AI companies, out there, which can actually detect your face and find out if you're going to make a purchase in a store or not.
Yeah.
Just by your facial
face
expression.
expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, maybe we can use some sort of, these are all very small models, all working on your phone. No data is going out. So there's no privacy hindrance in this. Until unless you are signing up, you have to be very sure when you are providing these data, you have to be very sure what your data can be used for, of course. But then the upside of this would be, let's say your emotional tracking can be done on your phone, and then, let's say if you're a little, tired that day, maybe the home is set in such a way that it will help you cheer up a little bit. If there is, there's no one at home, maybe it can play some music, it can do some things for you so that you're not feeling alone at home, in that manner. So yeah, so these things will come, and then real problems will keep on solving with the advent of AI, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to see a home that's self-cleaning.
Yes.
That would be amazing to see in the next 10 years. If you have, I think nowadays you do have those robots that clean the floors, but that's so ineffective because you don't really understand or get to see the minute dust in the corners of the room. So that would be interesting to see. And to have like self-watering plants, so your plants never die. I think we're like really far away from that, but if that could happen, that would be such a great value addition to like our clients. It would be really, really great.
Yeah.
And I think just one last thing I want to add here is a lot of homes, more often than not, do have water leakages, and they do have a lot of problem with seepage and all of that. If we can somehow invent a tool or a device that we can maybe put on your plumbing pipes before we do the civil work, so we can detect the damage before it's about to occur, it would save a lot of money and a lot of headache to the clients.
Correct.
So it's a very different tangent
Maintenance,
from
yeah.
what you said, but would love to see something that,
On the dot. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can answer some of that.
go for it.
Yeah. So watering plants is already there.
But they still die. Self-irrigation is there.
Yeah, so if you have like a drip irrigation or something, so you can switch it on and off as per a time schedule. You have got moisture sensors. So let's say you have a garden, for example, which is being watered every day through your automation. But if it has rained, there's no point in watering it, right? So there's a moisture sensor which gives a feedback to the system, yes, that we have achieved the moisture level, so please don't turn on. So the system doesn't turn it on. So that is there. Then you've got pet feeders. So at a particular time, it will dispense a fixed quantity of food for the pet. It will ensure there is water in the bowl. So these kind of conveniences are there. Yes, but your angle of the leakage prevention, I am not the right person. Perhaps he does BMS if he knows something over there.
My take on what things will change in the near future is very radical. What is automation? If I were to define automation, is anything that is repetitive in nature can be automated. You want to switch on a light, you want to switch off a light. You repeat it over time and time. Okay? So that is what automation is. Currently I see a lot of people talking predictive behavior analysis as AI. I don't think so predictive analysis is going to be what AI is going to do. AI is far, far bigger than what we can even imagine at this moment. She made a brilliant point. AI will have 2 or 3 structures where it will work. The first will be energy. Energy saving is going to be huge, or it will help you save a lot of energy, not by predictive behavior analysis, but by foreseeing what is going to happen. Okay? The second place where AI will play a huge role is in self-healing. Self-healing is going to be a game changer with AI. You will be able to predict what is going to happen, when it is going to happen, and how do you heal it before it happens. That is the kind of analysis that AI will be able to do. Safety will be the third structure where safety of the occupants for residences, where AI will play a role. Typically, like let's say we talk of a bank today. You do a transaction, it can get flagged off as a insecure transaction. You've ordered something from Zomato, you were expecting a delivery. AI is going to say whether that guy is going to enter your building or not. It is going to predict. That is where today for every delivery, you get OTPs for almost everything. Why should you be getting that? AI should be able to predict whether I'm going to get an OTP or not. AI should be able to predict that I'm sitting here. If I have a blue dot today coming to deliver, I don't need an OTP. Whether I have actually authorized the transaction or not. That is where AI has a far bigger role to play.
Absolutely.
1 million downloads in 5 days. That's what has ChatGPT done, right?
Absolutely. And I think with those models and then in scale, I think so exactly. So what I predict is, what I would want is basically a house which is basically reacting as per my needs, as a user. Basically it is making the place secure, yes, energy saving, convenient, and peaceful for me. When I'm in work mode, it should be ready for my work mode. When I'm in relaxing mode, it should be ready for my relaxed mode, basically. So now the house itself is blending into that, and of course the maintenance, because right now the population, especially the Indian population right now, median age is around 28, 30, out there. Yeah, the working population out of that would be about, let's say about 50-60%, and which is growing at a faster pace. Yeah, a lot of people will get more busy. They'll not have time to do those maintenance, cleaning, cooking also, I would say. Cooking also does play. I'm not sure still the level of, the machine cooked food, because we still do not like as a machine made tea or a coffee. We still prefer the other part there. But then, yeah, this is something, these problems exist and yet to be solved with these tools like AI and few others, of course. Yes.
I totally agree with the point. And as we all know, AI and automation, everything is going to help us out in our near future, or let's say 5 or 10 years. But the major challenge in Indian society, specifically if I say, is the adaptation towards it. Challenge is not about the budgets of it or the products we have to solve our solutions or creations, but the major point is to adaptation of it, because our society is divided into very vague range. Let's say socio-economic range is too high, so उसमें उसको adapt करना बहुत बड़ा challenge है.
True. It has to be done on a scale of what I think in history we have to see what LED did and what smart homes did, or smartphones did. The adoption rate was pretty massive there. Within 2 years, I think we saw change within our life form. So it has to happen at that scale, and that economics is what will require. Yeah. So yeah, that brings to the second question. What do we like AI? So it's related to AI itself. What do you see the role of voice assistants like Alexa and Google Home evolving in smart home hub space, basically?
I believe the younger generation is totally fascinated by it. Or let's give an example. We all have seen Iron Man, so we all need a Jarvis in our home. So I believe that is the near. So obviously the kind of sensors you have told that in a 1 kilometer of range or geysers or stuff like that can be controlled. But voice control is something which nowadays everybody wants, and because of Alexa or Siri or something like that, we all are used to it and comfortable also.
Yes, voice is very popular. It's popular amongst senior citizens who don't want to use the app, not comfortable using the phone. They can simply give a voice command and get the activation done. With the advent of interoperability with Matter, we will find Siri talking to a Google Nest, and maybe a Google Talk device talking to Samsung. So that will make it more popular. But the only thing which I see is today is the security issue. I don't know if you all have tried it. If you just talk about, okay, let's go for a holiday to Turkey. in your house you're talking about it, and next day on your social media, you'll start finding ads. Visit Turkey, fly to Turkey, hotels in Turkey. Now, how did this happen? So obviously, they are listening, and they are not only listening, they are acting on that information. So, if in the future some serious cases of privacy violations come to light, I could see actually a downfall over here. You know, instead of it becoming more popularized, and unless they put some checks and balances in order, security will always be a concern for us. Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah. True. Like even our customers also, we have seen they buy, they will use it for 10 days, and then I'll see that plug out.
Which is exactly why I don't like voice automated. Nothing. I don't like Siri, Alexa, anything of that sort. Even though it's like encouraging, people are very heavily investing in it and promoting it like crazy everywhere you go in terms of ads, and the marketing spend on these things are crazy. Just not a huge fan because, first of all, like you mentioned, the privacy concern is there. And secondly, we have an Indian accent in India, right? So half the time you have to repeat yourself to make the Alexa understand what you're trying to say. And if you're trying to make it easier for your parents or your grandparents, it's counterintuitive because they won't understand what we're trying to say in Hindi or otherwise. So it would be nice if this can evolve in a way it's suited to our Indian audience, which is a good ratio of the Earth's population. And more than that, help in like sort of placing orders online, doing like mundane tasks without having to do so. Like you mentioned Jarvis from Iron Man, right? Like just get it done. Or the pizza, have it here. Like I don't want to give you my OTP or my card or go into the specifics of ordering which pizza and all. He should intuitively know what I want and then order it for me. It's a little out there, but yeah.
Hope lies become reality. Like they become reality sooner or later. Those are the.
I think again, very radical views on voice for me. Voice will change drastically. Google and Alexa in the next few years will look as if they popped up from Jurassic Park age. Voice will evolve so fast. Currently, the problem with voice devices are they do serial processing. You have to speak a command, they'll execute, then you speak a command, they'll execute. Suddenly you will find that voice will now become natural. They will understand things in progression. You would probably be able to say, turn on that light, do this, and then say, sorry, please do not turn on that light. And it will still be able to process it in that fashion. Natural language will become mainstream. I think
Also with ChatGPT, you think it will also know, like I think 1 week back what you did, I think.
that, see, the moment we've got the way we will interact with voice will probably not be a speaker system like Alexa, it will be your phones.
Yeah.
That's going to become your primary device to speak to. Yeah, no, but if all of these are going to look like they've really come from Jurassic Park age, it's going to change. You hear a few AI generated voice today, I bet you cannot even tell that this was generated out of AI.
I think there was a Cadbury ad, I think, where I think in Diwali they launched something where Amitabh Bachchan can do advertisement for your own company. Yeah, deep fake. Yeah. So there are a lot of things.
But
Yes.
where AI
Oh, sorry. No.
will also help is it will be able to detect voice and say whether this is
Fake or
fake
original.
or genuine.
Yeah.
In fact, Citibank is already doing it. Now when I call Citibank, they are
Yeah.
able to do a voice recognition on me. So voice signatures will also,
It'll be
yeah.
it'll be more natural is what is
It would be interesting if you can have that for your home as well. When you enter, you have like a face recognition system that recognizes your face and your voice. That's for your home, for your security, and not just for like high security banks or vaults. If that could happen in like the near future, I think that would really change how we perceive security in our day-to-day lives.
Correct, correct. I think that's how human perceives. You know, like our family members would look at us, see at us, hear our voice, and recognize. So maybe I can do that also. Yeah.
After Rajiv spoke something, I was remembered of Aladdin's genie lamp. So we all are looking for that Aladdin's genie to come out and do our commands, anticipate our commands, and carry out our instructions in natural language.
I think that will happen soon. Let's make it happen, I would say. Okay. So yeah, the third question. What challenges do you see in creating truly seamless and intuitive user experience across multiple smart home devices and platforms? So it's different brands, different technologies. How do you see that everything can come together and work, basically? What challenges do you see there?
I don't see much of a challenge where the technology is concerned, because like I said, Matter is integrating all of it on one single platform with some kind of a backward integration also. So technology is not the challenge. The challenge is the people. I think Suraj mentioned that earlier, the adaptation. So if you want a seamless experience, now in India we don't do DIY. All of this, if you see what we are talking about, is geared towards DIY. So you buy a product off the shelf and you just configure it in your phone. So you buy a second one and you do the same. So you have independently configured all your products, but is that a great user experience? How do I make one event trigger a series of other events? So that is something which a DIY person may not be able to do. So probably they will need help of some professionals. Maybe they'll have some new automation walas coming in. I don't know how it's going to evolve, because you know, if you see computers, mobile phones, how they have evolved, you call a guy home and he comes and charges you some $700-800 and attends to your computer and goes away. Or friendly neighborhood mobile wala will repair your phone, sell you the phone. So with such mass adaptation, I think it will come down to this, where you'll have one call a guy, pay him a one-time fee, and then he'll do something and go away. But how qualified is a big question mark. So the user experience may not be the best because it is not thought of or designed by a professional. Yes, but interoperability will be there.
I mean, for me, it's like a very obvious challenge. I don't see a lot of people my parents' age or my grandparents' age be very technically savvy. So I feel like that is not accepted yet, the home automation on your devices. I have home automation in my house and I've stopped using it completely. I just switch it on and off on my keypads. It's no longer on the phone. I think that was there initially, the first couple of months when you start using a new space. You're sort of, very fascinated by like, oh, clap your hands, the lights go off, or, let's just switch on the curtains from the app, or like put on the music from the app. That just goes away with time because it's not evolving with you. So I think if, like the way you have app updates on your phone and it evolves and fixes bugs every time, if something can be done in that industry, it will become more acceptable in my opinion, and then also sort of adapt to your changing needs. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on how it will be perceived in the next couple of years and what challenges it can solve in the next couple of years.
Simplicity is going to be the key. Today you look at a car and you have those fancy air conditioning on a touch. It is absolutely hopeless. What you need is a round button. Yes, you need something haptic to touch. Touch screens can only be secondary control devices. They will never become primary control devices. So if you, this evolves from a fact, the entire journey has to be UX. User experience not only on an app, but as a home system designer, you have to design where the experience of the customer is brilliant. And that is where your integrator is going to play a large role. I don't think so in technology is going to drive humans. Till this end of this world, humans will only drive technology.
Absolutely. Yeah. Survival was seen in, I think, 2-3 years back, where billions of population were staying, in confined spaces. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think, how can smart home hubs become more accessible, affordable, especially for those in emerging markets like India, and like how we can make this technology more affordable?
That's a question for all these guys here. I would really want to hear how this would be more affordable.
So as an architect, I believe we already have quite some solutions out there. We have solutions according to our budget range, according to our requirements. So that is one thing which is only going to be reduced by increasing the scale of it. That's it, nothing else.
I think he's very rightly hit the nail on the head. It is already affordable. However, if it has to become more affordable, I can see that happening as more Indian manufacturers adopt these technologies and start manufacturing them. So at the cost of repeating myself, I am saying again, since as matter comes into force, and in the next 2 years you will see a lot more manufacturers coming up, the scale will improve, Indian manufacturers will be able to sell globally, not only in India. So as Suraj just mentioned, economies of scale will definitely play a role, and Indian manufacturers know how to make it cheap, after China, of course. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what. I personally think when we are speaking of a hub, technology will evolve fast, hubs will become obsolete. Things will run on the cloud, and that's when the prices, like she said, chicken biryani cost. I think you'll be able to buy a dozen hubs for the cost of chicken biryani. And SaaS will become the model. You'll pay as much as you use. So I was able to clock 5G speeds at my home, which was higher than my broadband. Of course, it's happening only in few spaces. I thankfully live around where Airtel Gallery is just close by, so that helps. But things will change. Internet will become faster. I have seen people in Bombay flutter like fish out of water if internet goes down. But they're able to live without electricity. So that's when things will become far more reliable to run out of the cloud. And that's when hubs will get scaling onto the cloud. And
Yeah, I think that has already started to happen. So like we ourselves were primarily a hub and a controller company, and now we launched an app which is downloadable, and you can connect any devices to it, basically, which are IP based directly. You do not require a separate hub, nothing. And you just pay per device. Per device, whatever you want, it starts from 10 rupees, and you can just keep doing that anyway. So that has, so exactly as you said, technology will take a revolution here before. So yeah, scale, economy of scale will be for hardware products, of course, will require a lot of hardware products, yes. But I think in terms of making that, the hub side, basically, I think, yes, the software piece is developing much faster. Yes, yes. What do you think are the key factors that will drive the adaptation of smart home hubs in the future? What are the key factors that will drive this even further, faster? What do you think there?
I need to think about that.
Key factors, I think, visibility. We will become like the flat panels revolution. So as more and more people started using flat panels, everybody thought, यार मेरे को भी चाहिए flat panel. Okay. So the visibility, and as more and more people adopt home automation, the guy next door also then wants it. So that is one factor. Energy saving, I think Rajiv had mentioned energy saving earlier. So energy saving will also be a driving factor, because we see every year the energy costs are going higher. And if we want the middle class person who's aspirational today, and he wants to really have the home automation, for him energy cost is going to be a concern. And if we can save energy, definitely that would be one of the factors which will influence his purchase. Sustainability, this is also a driving factor. So low cost, visibility, easy availability, and energy saving. I think these are the points I would like to make here.
I believe educating towards this particular service or a solution, let's say, is more important in India specifically, because our nature of investing that much of money towards any product is the key factor behind it, is the key feel good factor behind it. So till the time we have that feel good factor, so it is very easy for us to invest 20 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees on automation. But to understand what exactly it is, so let's say that we are catering to more than 100 projects in a year, and in that approximately 65 to 70% projects may automation is required. But the first conversation when we get in touch with a client for the automation, they have no idea about it, what all it includes. All they know is कि वो अपनी लाइट अपने फ़ोन से ऑन ऑफ कर लेंगे और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वो गाने चला लेंगे. इसके अलावा कोई तीसरी चीज़ उनको नहीं समझ में आती. तीसरी चीज़ अब थोड़ी बहुत सिक्योरिटी को लेके वो इन्फॉर्म्ड है, बट इसके अलावा भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. सो आई गेस एजुकेशन इज़ वन थिंग.
Privacy for me, I think what tends to happen more often than not is me personally, I don't have Alexa, I have disabled Siri from my phone, I don't have Google Home, mainly because I am scared of what might happen if like information leaks out. I don't know what they'll hear, but it's just something like it's a big like pain, like big sort of point of concern for me personally. And just to be adaptable, I think you just have to make it ever changing, keep evolving as a client, as the human needs changes with time. And obviously, please make it accessible for older people. I think that's missing.
I'll expand on what Rakesh said. Visibility and reach. I think that is going to drive the entire story. Currently, reach is restricted in India. The entire target story is today architect-driven projects in urban cities, whereas there is a huge market for this in contractor-led houses in rural spaces or semi-urban or towns. So our reach currently is maybe a few, not even a few, 0.5% or maybe lesser. The entire rest of the story is left untapped. And that is where the real game changers will start. Your volumes will explode, which you would have never thought of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that can speed up with, let's say, solving real problems, very painful problems like insecurity in water harvesting or
Exactly. Simple issues.
Simple
You do
issues,
not want to turn on and off a light.
Yeah.
Those are not
those are like your fancy issues, I would call it.
They're immaterial.
Yeah.
They're
So,
absolutely immaterial.
yeah. So yeah. Okay. I think we are little tight on time. I think we'll take any questions from audience, if any. I think. Yeah.
She'll need a mic.
have a microphone there?
Can you give her a mic?
You can come here in the front.
So this question is mainly on adaptation, education. What we figured out is once a smart home is set up,
Just hold it closer, please.
yeah. Once the smart home is set up, the male of the house, he feels very good, oh, I've done this, and the feel good factor. The women resist later on, the way she said, I was initially using it and stopped it. So what do you see, or how do you see that increasing that adaptability of the women of this technology? What can be done on increasing that adaptability?
Sure, can I have a mic? I think it's got to do with, I think women are just more intuitive and smarter. They just know when to drop the technology when it's not being as useful. If you want to increase it amongst women, personally, I really can't speak for all women, but personally, I think it has to be user-friendly. It has to sort of evolve with the human needs. It can't just be light on off kar do, which what we sort of end up doing with automation these days, right? Controlling your lights and curtains and geysers and ACs and everything else.
So
It would be really nice if I can get home and like there's a glass of wine or like a hot bath already waiting, and that was done by automation. Or if I get home, like they can detect if there's any issue in the plumbing line somewhere, so they can solve it beforehand.
okay.
That would call for a different automation altogether, not the existing one that we have.
And I'm imagining life would have been so easy then,
Yeah, I think.
Just imagining that,
Yeah, I mean, I think our lives are pretty easy anyway because we live in the city. I was thinking more towards, like as they mentioned, right, solving like real like issues in other parts of the country.
But again, he said, if Wi-Fi was not there in Mumbai, people are like, water fishes out of the water. Same is there in Delhi or across world probably.
Yeah.
From a little one to an elderly one. Wi-Fi gaya to life end. It's like this.
Now we say, sorry, today we say roti, kapda, makan, Wi-Fi.
I'll expand this a little beyond the sexes, like you put it as a women-centric story. I think anything that does not solve a problem and is only a fancy can stay for certain point of time and it can't sustain.
Correct.
That is the greater reason why I see robotic cleaners brought and gathering dust after 2 months. Because they are not solving a real problem.
So that cleaner was supposed to clean and not gather dust.
The maids are solving the real problem.
Yeah.
That is where things,
Absolutely.
that is where things get a little.
So as she said, initially we'll be excited and probably after 2 months it would be like back to
Things
square.
have to be approached in a simplistic fashion. You do not need complex solutions
For day-to-day things.
for simple problems because you are even complicating it further. A lot of times when people sell technology, they oversell it to a point that it becomes obtrusive to your life and you do not like that.
So let it be simple, let it be easy. On that note, we would like
Technology has to blend, right,
Blend.
in your lifestyle. You
to,
cannot
you don't have
te-
to, it has to.
People will drive technology, technology will not drive people. That is the statement if you work with, you will be able to solve at least 999 out of 1000.